Alright, fellas, this week in Destiny, May 1st. This week in Destiny, the community gathered to finish a puzzle and get a sneak peek of what's to come. What's going on here exactly, Drifter? Guess you'll have to find out next Tuesday in our Edge of Fate reveal stream. But before that, how about you find out about the topics for this week? Solve the puzzle. May 6 is upon us. Heavy Metal Tournament and Emblem. Update 8.2.6 is almost here. 3 new weapons added soon. Celebrating AANHPI Heritage Month. Of course you solved it. Last week, the Guardians with the keenest eyes noticed something weird. What were those chess pieces scattered all along the soul system? Pawns, knights, bishops, rooks. What was this all about? Didn't take you much time to understand what was going on and put the pieces to our latest community puzzle together in quite a literal sense. Your reward, some exclusive rewards, and a very cryptic cinematic. I'm going to link this all down below. We hope you enjoyed solving Chestney as much as we did creating it. To all the players that took part in it, community leaders that rose above it to organize them, and to the first team to find the answer, you are awesome. And now let's watch Cinematic together, shall we? May 6th is next week. The reveal stream is next week, May 6th. It's like Tuesday. You get a sneak peek already, but there's only 5 more days to go until we reveal Edge of Fate. We will cover many of the changes coming to Destiny 2 this summer, the new expansion and its campaign, major changes coming to many core and structural systems throughout the game, some of the new rewards you will be earning. So, let's repeat this one last time. Then. Join us May 6th, 9 a.m. Pacific time as we reveal not only the next expansion for Destiny 2, but also the beginning of your new content. New year of content. Tune in to the stream for 15 minutes with your Bungie account connected to Twitch, and you can receive the Thenozenia emblem. That's a pretty sexy emblem. I like that. It's a good looking emblem. Yeah, that's real nice. Heavy Metal Tournament and Emblem. Briggs and tanks go boom. We're putting 8 content creator teams against each other in a high octane tournament during Heavy Metal Week to see which team can become the lords of heavy machinery. Because you don't yet know who is going to advance to the semifinals and finals, here's the full schedule accounting for all scenarios. Stay tuned to socials for updates on which team ends up in the finals. So here's May 9th. Okay, cool. It should be fun to watch. Oh, that's sexy. The winning team will receive a unique award inspired by in-game item. Stay tuned for details next TWID. Those of you watching can grab a cool emblem by tuning into the tournament. Watch any opt-in Destiny 2 streamer on Twitch for 1 hour between 9 a.m. Or May 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and May 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific Time to receive the Mad Dog emblem. Alternatively, our participating creators from the 8 selected teams will also have limited quantities of the emblem to give out during their tournament streams. That's actually a sweet emblem. That one was cool as crap. I love that. That's great. Update 8.2.6 Sandbox Preview. When update 8.2.6 arrives May 6th, we're making a few changes to some weapons, exotic armor pieces, and abilities. Consider this like a second mid-season update. Not as big as a new expansion update, but still impactful. The changes that we're making aim to take some outliers down a notch, fix some issues, and give a push to certain archetypes with the goal of making PvE and PvP metas more balanced and varied. With that said, let's offer the floor to the Sandbox team. I'm excited to see what they do with these. Crucible only. Prismatic supers and the recent penalty to super cooldown while on Prismatic feels just a bit too strong, so we have walked that back partially to make it more likely Prismatic subclasses will be able to get their supers in longer trials and competitive matches. Alright, reduce Prismatic specific super cooldown penalty from 10 to 5%. Okay. Scatter Grade. This grenade has been a bit of a power outlier in PvP for a while, so we bring it back in line. Reduce scatter grenade damage versus players by 15%. It's pretty big, but I mean, I've been like one tapped after a scatter grenade. I've been killed by scatter grenades, so Hunter, on the prowl. Void aspect is too strong in PvP, and utility needs some more limitations to force more deliberate usage. Reduce PvP prey finding range from 45 to 25. That's big. Reduce PvP hunt time from infinite to 15 seconds. Holy shit, that's a huge nerf. I mean, it's strong, but that's a big nerf, dude. Warlock, Lightning Surge, Arc Aspect can feel frustrating to play both with and against, as it feels like the damage against players can be highly variable. Clamp the variability of Lightning Surge damage against players, slightly increase the minimum damage dealt, and reduce to maximum damage dealt. I'm sure there's some outstanding just math nerds. They're going to do the math on that and get you the numbers. Global, Hunter, Withering Blade, Stasis, and Prismatic Melee. This melee was underperforming PvP and needed PvE consistency bump. Increased tracking strength by 20%, increased damage by 10. Okay, cool. All throwing knife melees. Thanks to players' feedback, we identified an issue that was causing Hunter's throwing knife melees to track targets inconsistently. On top of that, we further improved the tracking of lightweight knife and fan of knives to make them more attractive options. Throwing knives not tracking correctly should track better. Increased tracking shape size by 10%. Increased tracking strength by 20. Fan of knives tracking shape by 15. Okay. On the prowl, assassinations now provide an instant bump of ability energy instead of doling out over time. This makes eliminating a target more immediately satisfying and makes for easier looping in PvE. Reduced prey finding cooldown for 0.5 to 0.1. Ability energy is now granted instantly instead of over time. And then Arc Surge, increase the follow-up melee suppression time after Lightning Surge to match Shoulder Charge and other similar abilities. Let's check out some weapon updates. Pulse Rifles, Legendary Frame. When we look at our high skill lobbies, since the most recent nerf of 450 RPM Pulse Rifle damage, Redrix has fallen more in line in terms of effectiveness, while usage remains high, is generally in line with where Rose and aggressive hand cannons have been near their peaks, as shown in the charts below, with significantly higher usage but lower effectiveness. However, in our middle and lower skill lobbies, Redrix continues to be an issue. We believe this problem is twofold: a lack of competition from auto rifles and other pulse rifles in terms of forgiving mid-range options, and the legendary legacy frame offering slightly too much for the jack-of-all-trades playstyle. Similarly, our solution will be two parts: reduce the ADS range of the legacy frame pulse rifles to match the damage fallout scale currently used for high impact pulses, and both a handful of other weapon types: rapid fires, high impact precision auto rifles, heavy burst hand cannons. I like that one. That one I'm actually pretty stoked about, the heavy burst hand cannons, to provide more competition in our mid-range engagements. The legacy frame origin trait now reduces ADS damage fall off scalar by 0.1. Okay. Kills over expected high skill lobbies. Primary weapons every 20. This is actually a sweet graph. But I mean, Jesus, man, that legacy frame is a monster. Yeah. Kills over expected high skill lobbies. Primary weapons, January 2025. That's nuts. That's crazy. And high skill lobby primary weapons, September of 2024. High impact pulses. These hand cannons, man. Aggressive frame. Lightweight frame. Rapid fire. We wanted to bring another pulse rifle family up to compete with lightweights in terms of forgiveness without buffing their optimal time to kill, and rapid fires were a prime candidate. Increased base damage from 14.5 to 15, increased precision damage from 27.6 to 27.8. I mean, it's still not going to be, like, you're not going to two-tap anybody or anything like that, but it'll be good. Hand cannons, heavy burst. When we initially released heavy burst hand cannons, I actually love these fucking guns. They just suck to use. We were concerned their faster time to kill, increased forgiveness would be too strong when paired with a longer range profile like that of aggressive. In practice, that's not proven to be the case. So we are increasing their damage fall off scalar when ADS to allow them to push out into the mid range more effectively. Damage fall off scale from 1.5 to 1.6. Adaptive judgment. Judgment will be returning with some hollow foil treatment during Ride of the Nine. We're taking this opportunity to adjust judgment stats to be more competitive with other adaptive hand cannons. All versions of this weapon have been updated. Cool. Mag from 9 to 11. Reload speed 40 to 45. Handling 42 to 55. That's good. Auto rifles. High impact auto rifles have struggled to find their footing in PvP when facing weapons that do not require a line of sight. So we have updated their base damage to make them more forgiving and allow better interaction with smaller damage boosts in terms of reducing time to kill. Increased base damage by 4%. Body shot goes from 23 to 24. Critical hit goes from 41.4 to 43.2. Precision. This is a second partial reduction of the damage reduction given to them several seasons ago. Though this is focused just on the body shot damage to increase forgiveness and does not bring their critical hit damage back to where it was before that change. Increase base damage 3%, reduce the precision damage scalar slightly to offset this. Body shots go from 19.4 to 20. Critical hit goes from 33.95 to 34. So it's not much. Adaptive submachine guns. We wanted to give adaptive SMGs more of a unique role in CQB Sandbox outside of their slightly increased forgiveness, and we believe the additional range will help to differentiate them and allow them to compensate against other weapons more effectively. Increase ADS damage fall off scalar from 1.4 to 1.5. So that's not bad. Shotgun heavy burst slug. Heavy burst damage is not high enough compared to normal slug shotguns to make it worth the additional control required to utilize them effectively. So we get another buff, 8%. One quiet moment. This perk often runs counter to expected behavior in the Crucible, so we have split the buff into two separate stacks and allowed the first to activate much more quickly. Now it's two stacks. One activates after 1 second being out of combat for 50% of the bonus, and the other at 2 seconds. Okay. Alacrity. While incredibly strong when active, Alacrity is 0 uptime in non-Trials Crucible playlist, so we wanted to give it some additional utility. We believe this will make it one of the strongest origin perks for Crucible in the game, and should help to better position weapons from Trials Messiahs alongside the competitive playlist offerings. Now activates at reduced effectiveness whenever a teammate dies, reaches maximum effectiveness when 2 or more teammates are currently dead. Note, descriptions for both these perks will be updated at a later release. Okay. Exotic weapons. Let's see what they did. Are they bringing it down? Reduced hit fire damage by PvE by 30%. Holy crap. All of these insane world record runs that some of these guys are doing are gonna, it's still gonna be good, but man, that hurts. Lord of Wolves has been an absolute beast within the realm PvE for many months now. Both Atheon and Templar have been shaking in their proverbial boots whenever Guardians readied their weapons for DPS phases. While we found Lord of Wolves was far outperforming where we wanted it to be, we decided to let this ride for most of Heresy for a fun little meta time period. With Rite of 9 arriving soon, it's time to rein it in. Yeah, that was coming. Anybody who didn't see it coming, you have no idea what you're talking about if you didn't see that coming. I don't even use Lord of Wolves, but I watch a lot of dudes, and they watch a lot and they're just, it's insane. It's just run it over. Risk Runner has long been a low zoom outlier as far as SMGs go, so we wanted to bring it more in line with other options alongside the buff it will be getting to range as part of the adaptive SMG changes listed above, from 13 to 14. Okay. Truth and Two-Tailed Fox. Rocket launchers rarely compete in Crucible as viable heavy options against LFRs. and LMGs. But giving them more ammo from crates is not a decision we would make lightly. To test the waters, we've selected two exotic rocket launchers that will get additional ammo from heavy crates in PvP. Increase the amount of ammo picked up from ammo crates, increase from 1 to 2. So, Truth and Two-Tailed Fox. Cool rockets. I wish they were. Two-Tailed Fox used to have some pretty cool synergy with some aspects and stuff. I think it might still, where it would just like reload itself. That was pretty sweet. And I haven't used Truth since 9 months ago or something like that. Alethanim. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Creating an ammo brick drained all of the weapon's energy, which prevented the player from creating 2 special ammo bricks when at 100% energy. We've adjusted the cost of the special ammo brick to 50% to allow the player to create another special brick if they desire. Creating a special ammo brick now only costs 50% energy. Rewarded the vestigial alchemy trait description to be a little less confusing. Finalities Augur. We've added some quality of life changes that make using this weapon an overall smoother experience. Increase the duration that a target is painted to match the duration of the turret. The environmental target marker now marks additional targets to enter the zone after the initial creation. Now grants an automatic reload from reserves after deploying a turret. Reduce the turret's self-damage by 85%, increase the turret's damage by 10. Armor updates. Radiant Dance Machines, the goal of RDM's rework was to introduce a new style of gameplay into PvP, centered around aggressive, close-range play with primary weapons. While this has happened in practice, and we've received a large amount of feedback that the playstyle itself is fun to use, we need to make sure that at its peak, it is still in band with other playstyles that exist in high-end Crucible gameplay. Unfortunately, due to differences between the input devices, the current tuning of RDM continues to remain problematic on mouse and keyboard, while being significantly less effective on controller. Last word excluded. That's because last word is amazing. The usage reflects this, with RDM seeing 45% higher usage on mouse and keyboard. MK already benefits from having significantly higher aim assist, accuracy, and stability while hip firing the controller does, and stacking those benefits with one of from RDM's allowing some weapons to perform outside of their intended bounds. Long term, we want to investigate moving the 2 inputs to be more equal in terms of hip fire efficacy at base, but for now, we're going to significantly reduce the benefits granted by RDMs. We believe these values will still allow players to engage in hipfire combat, albeit at a more limited range window, and with additional investment needed in the form of perks or mods to achieve a similar level of strength. A lot of people are going to probably get away from RDM. We'll see. In addition, so that hunters don't have all the hip-firing fun, we're going to grant the hip-fire range and accuracy benefits for primary weapons, post-reduction, to an exotic, each on Warlock and Titan, which will be discussed below. Reduce the bonuses granted to primary weapons when hip firing, aligned the hip fire bonuses to range with accuracy values granted by the hip fire grip perk instead of the legacy frame intrinsic perk. Reduced accuracy bonus for standard weapons by 60, reduced aim assist fall off distance by 60%. Further reduce the accuracy bonus for the custom tuned exotic weapons, including the last word, by an additional 25%. As a note, based on the feedback we've received from mouse and keyboard players using the last word with RDMs, we are looking into tuning the specific penalties for that input device down a bit in a future patch to make the weapons more usable without requiring an exotic. Yeah, because, man, sometimes they wreck the last word, and then, sometimes it's just phenomenal. Although dodge up time is already lower on RDMs than it is with some other hunter exotics, we want to reduce the class ability refund benefit just a bit in PvP to make it less of a focal point of an exotic. Reduce the amount of energy refunded for defeats against players when you do not have full class ability energy, 33% to extra 20% to align it with the upper tier of the strategist perk. Okay. Lion Rampart, so Titans, Lion Rampant has long been a niche exotic, and since it already dealt with hipfire effectiveness, we thought they would be a great candidate for this buff. For a second buff, we're also allowing the airborne effectiveness bonus provided by the exotic to be effective when ADS, so it is no longer limited to hipfire while airborne. Added the accuracy and range hipfire bonuses from RDM to Lion Rampants for primary ammo weapons only. These hipfire benefits are always active, not just when airborne. The plus 50 airborne effectiveness bonus is now always active, not just when you're hipfiring while airborne. Okay, alright, and Lunafaction Boots. Similarly sees low usage in Crucible, and when it does, it's almost always to show off an extremely long-range slug precision shotgun or fusion rifle kill. While those instances are funny, we don't believe they are generally acceptable for PvP play, so we have reduced the range benefits while standing in empowering Rift for Crucible only. In its place, we have added the benefit to hip firing primary ammo weapons, which are always active. Add the accuracy and range hipfire bonuses from RDM. Decrease range bonuses granted by empowering Rift by 50% in PvP. Okay. 3 new rewards coming with 8.2.6. As you know very well by now, we are reprising the Prophecy, Spire of the Watcher, and Ghost of the Deep weapon sets with new perks, additional traits, and a renewed look that includes a hollow foil version of these of you with a soul of a crow. Of the version for those of you with the soul of a crow. Outstanding. We think you will love the weapons and their perks, so we won't be talking about those here today. Discovering by yourselves what they have to offer will make them a bit more special. That said, I want to give you a little tease of what's to come. So how about we reveal the additional weapons coming to Iron Banner, Trials of Osiris, and Nightfalls. Nature Reclaimed, Solar Lightweight Scout Rifle. Column 3 is going to have Killing Wind, Outlaw, Hill Clip, Lone Wolf, Rapid Hit, Shoot to Loot. 4 of it does measures, Kill Clip, Incandescent, Precision Instrument, Box Breathing, Explosive Payload, Iron Banner. Inquisitor, Arc Precision Slug Shotgun. And Assassin, Lone Wolf, Offhand, Loose Change, Perpetual Motion, Slide Shot, Threat Detector, Bait and Switch, Closing Time, Cascade Point, Fragile Focus, Jolting Feedback, Opening Shot, Precision Instrument. Cruel Mercy, Arc Heavy Burst Pulse Rifle, Dragonfly, Demo, Eddy Current, 4th time's a charm, Keep Away, Lone Wolf, Jolting Feedback, Adrenaline Junkie, Head Seeker, Frenzy, Kill Clip, Desperado. Nature Reclaim will be the first available starting May 20th in Iron Banner. Inquisitor, for the Inquisitor and Cruel Mercy, they're trying something a bit different for the duration of Rather 9 and until Edge of Fate launches. While both will be available at their respective vendors, they'll also drop as additional rewards when you finish a Trials match or a Nightfall activity. This also includes their Adept counterparts. Trials will be back on May 13th, first time after update 8.2.6 goes live. Winning a 4 streak can get you the featured reward Aisha's Care Adept, but also an extra, the Inquisitor Adept, to go with it. Ooh. Same thing in Grandmaster Nightfalls. For every Lotus Eater Adept you get on the week of May 6th, you will get a Cruel Mercy Adept. That's pretty sweet. Celebrate AANHPI Heritage Month with us. Happy Asian American, Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. The Asians at Bungie Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Association is celebrating the occasion with a Harmonic Waves emblem. We're excited to support the International Community Health Services, a nonprofit healthcare organization based in Seattle, Washington. It's actually a pretty cool. I dig that. It's pretty sweet. Leading voice in challenging anti-Asian hate. In honor of ANHPI Heritage Month, everyone that makes a $10 donation through here, this here, we will earn minus Tilify and payment processing fees. Okay, so it's got to be just 10 straight. Jesus, no issues. Yep, still not fixed. Some bosses don't spawn in Court of Blades. When speaking to a vendor, yeah, these are all, like, sometimes it doesn't chain lightning. These are all, a lot of the same shit from last week, man. Honor of Hercules Ornament. Yeah, a lot of the same shit from last week. Some new stuff. Artist of the Week. We only rate Witch Dragons here, given the length and spikes we see in this art piece. Clearly a sword or a glaive. Ouch. That's kind of cool. We have spoken. The Manda Guardian. The Gardalodian. Alright. We hope the teaser unlocked with that outstanding move got you even more excited for the Edge of Fate reveal happening on May 6th. That's less than 5 days away. Making puzzles of this magnitude is a unique challenge with many moving pieces, pun intended, and a lot of planification. Saying that we love to watch you work together to solve it is an understatement. No matter what we put in front of you, this community always finds a way to blow our minds. Thank you all for the passion and effort you put into our games. It's a privilege to sing to you, community team. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff here, a lot of nerfs. Nerfs. But then, Titan Warlock got some buffs, which is kind of cool. RDM, I actually love RDM PvE. I don't really play too much PvP anymore. I should get back into it a little bit. But this is going to hurt using it in PvP. But it's cool that Titan Warlock both got some buffs here. And then I'm stoked. I love Iron Banner, so I'm excited to get this. I don't play a lot of Trials, but I will play it enough to get this. And also, I love Nightfalls. I'm always trying to play them. Cruel Mercy, I suck, but I'm going to play the hell out of it to get that. So, alright, man, there's some cool rewards here. A lot of cool stuff going on. We'll be here. I'll probably be streaming to see this, to watch this reveal. So come by, check it out. I think it'll be a blast. Till the next one. Peace.